Good morning and welcome to another YouTube video, or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're tuning in. Today is going to be a full what I eat in a day. I have not long flown back from Malaga where I competed in my third Hyrox, and it very much was a week of eating out, eating different foods last week. There's also been quite a lot going on in my own personal life recently, which has just meant that stress has been a lot higher, and that's really affected sort of digestion and things like that. So this week is a week of eating as quote unquote normally as possible. So I thought I would take you all through a typical day of eating and share some tips and tricks on how I get back on track after I've had a week of technically off-plan eating. If you guys are new here, my name's Georgia. I'm a women's online health and fitness coach, and I work with powerhouse, high-performing women who are ready to step into their confidence across all areas of their lives, helping them drop 10 kilos of body fat, tone up, and build a lifestyle that actually works for them regardless of how busy and crazy their schedule is. Today is actually my check-in day. It is coming up to 9 a.m. in the morning. I've done a little bit of admin already today. I usually start work around 8 a.m. and use that first hour to get on top of all my emails, messages, notifications, everything like that, and then I'll get into like my, I suppose, big tasks following that. So as I said, today is Monday when I'm filming this. It is a client check-in day. It's my main client check-in day. I do also do check-ins on a Tuesday, but most of the team have their check-ins on a Monday. So it's a very desk intensive day, which means that being organised with nutrition when I am back-to-back in check-ins, and I've also got a call today as well. It just means that the more organised I can be with my nutrition, the better really. So the first thing that I did before I actually get into what I'm eating today is make sure that my full week is planned out. Now, if that seems intimidating, you don't have to do a full week. You can do a day at a time. You could do it the evening for the following day, or you could do your week in 2 chunks, so say Monday through to Wednesday and then Thursday through to Sunday, if that works better for you. But for me, I like to get it over and done with, so I do all the thinking in one chunk. And quite often when I'm away, what I will do when I fly home is use that time when I'm sitting around waiting to get on a plane to plan out my food, to track ahead of time. And it means that when I get back, I don't have to worry. A second thing that I always do, especially when I travel, is make sure that I have a food shop literally ready and waiting for me when I get home. So I was very lucky. I was traveling without my partner, which meant that he was at home. So I ordered a food shop to be delivered on Saturday morning, and I arrived home Saturday afternoon. So it meant that he could receive the food shop and the fridge was fully stocked for this week and I didn't have to worry. If both of us were traveling and there was no one to receive the food shop, then what I would do is just order it for the day that we fly home or the following day, depending on what our flight time was. And again, it just takes another thing off of your list, because I feel like when you get back from a trip, you are needing to unpack, get the house sorted, get the washing done. Like, there's so many things that you need to get sorted. And also traveling is just exhausting in itself. Even though I was only in Spain and I was actually, I don't know, maybe 2.5 hour flight away, it still takes it out of you. So just these little things that you can do to help lessen the load when you get back, it makes the world of difference. And it means that I'm walking into this week not worried about nutrition at all, and I've got everything mapped out. So that brings me on to, I suppose, my first meal of the day. If you've watched one of these recently, you'll know that I love starting my day with a mocha. I actually didn't drink any mochas on holiday, so I'm very much happy to be back with my milk and my coffee machine. So this is a decaf coconut milk mocha. I make it with low calorie hot chocolate powder just because it saves me some extra calories and it means I've got plenty to play with later on in the day. And I am just a decaf person through and through, and in total honesty, I feel so much better for not drinking caffeine. I'm not here to say you should or shouldn't have caffeine, but I personally prefer life without it. And to go with that, I've also got 2 chocolate hobnobs, which are my current guilty pleasure still in life. The reason why I start the day with something like this, I'm not here to say that this has much nutritional quality in it at all. It gives me something of what I really enjoy, which is some chocolate, and it means I don't crave chocolate later on during the day. Plus it ties me over to my actual breakfast, which I'll have once I've done a little bit of work. What I tend to find is I would usually have a gap in the afternoon where I start to get really hungry and I start to want to go raid the cupboards. And by pushing my meal timings back very slightly, so I usually have breakfast around 10, 11 o'clock, depending on what my day looks like. So by pushing that first meal back, I then have a slightly later lunch, and then it closes the gap between lunch and dinner. Again, it just helps to regulate my appetite. It's what works for me personally, and ultimately is what helps to keep me on track. Now, disclaimer, I'm not going to be talking about calories, macros, anything like that in this video, because my calories are very much personal to me. But what I will say is that right now, post Hyrox, obviously the main thing is recovering as well as possible. My body is quite sore, I can't lie, it's to be expected, but I feel really good. And I am going to do a normal week of training this week, which will be really nice. But I am going into more of a physique focus, not necessarily a fat loss focus, just an optimizing physique focus with my training whilst keeping my calories at maintenance. So my calories definitely are not stupidly high, but they are on the higher side because I'm not actively dieting at the moment. So with that being said, I need to get on with some work right now because it's nearly 9 o'clock and I want to get a good start on these check-ins as soon as possible. I'm going to sip away my coffee, I'm going to have my biscuits, and I will speak to you guys in a little bit and we'll make breakfast together. And we are into our first proper meal of the day, which is one of my personal favourites, eggs and avocado on toast. I literally was saying to one of my clients in their check-in that there is so much value in eating similar meals. If you enjoy them, it's just so much easier, and I will always eat one of two breakfasts, this or protein oats, and today we're going savoury. And also the reason why I love both these breakfasts is because they literally take me like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes max to make. So now I've got 10-15 minutes just to sit, eat, enjoy, and then I am back to client check-ins. A big thing for this week is making sure that all of my breakfasts are super high in protein, because making sure that first meal is hitting what it needs to hit from a nutritional standpoint. So plenty of fibre, plenty of protein is going to really help to stabilise my hunger throughout the rest of the day, which when I am getting back to that routine of eating normally is going to make the world of difference. So I'm going to go and have my eggs, and next meal will be lunch. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. I feel like this is probably going to be a bit of a jump scare because of how red my face is, but I've just got back from a run. I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to train or not today because my day has been quite back to back. I had some calls earlier and I don't normally take calls on a Monday because it is my client check-in day, but I can't lie, I'm actually fairly on top of my work, so I thought I can squeeze in a run. I didn't have time to get to the gym, so it was more just about doing something. So now I'm making myself some electrolytes. I can't lie, it has been a while since I had breakfast. It's just coming up to 3 o'clock, which probably seems really late, but to me that is normal lunchtime. But because I've just been on a run, I can't lie, food is the last thing on my mind. So I'm gonna have my electrolytes and do some mobility work, and then I'm gonna have a shower and get changed, and then I'll probably have my lunch. I think something that's been massive for me on my fitness journey, and a lot that I've done since working with multiple coaches and mentors, is really understanding my hunger cues. I think in the past I was always guilty of just eating for the sake of eating, and I think especially that can quite often happen when you're on holiday or when you're abroad and you're out of your normal routine. So a big thing for me when I was on holiday, even though I was eating different foods, was valuing those hunger cues, and that's something that obviously I want to make sure I definitely do bring in with coming back to like my normal routine and my normal eating patterns. If I don't feel hungry to eat something, I don't want to force myself to eat something just for the sake of it, because obviously I want to keep reinforcing those positive behaviours that I have made. So yeah, we're going to wait a little bit for my tummy to settle post-run, and if you can hear my electrolytes fizzing in the background, I do apologise. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else has this, but straight after a run, my stomach is just like absolutely no to food. But give me like half an hour and I'll be ready to eat, and I've got my meal prep literally all ready to go. So yeah, I need to stretch, I need to properly cool down after my run, and I'm gonna have my electrolytes while I do that, and then I will come back and we can have some lunch. Okay, next up, meal number 2. I really had to think about that. Lunch, we've got chili con carne and rice. I love meal prepping chili con carne because it is so easy. That is very hot, so I'm gonna put it down. And yeah, it literally takes me 20-30 minutes to prep a massive batch of it. It's super high in protein, you can make it really calorie efficiently, and I always pack it out with tons of veggies, so it's super filling. So I am going to eat this because I'm now at the point where post-run I am quite hungry, which is great. So yeah, I'm going to have this and then get on with the rest of my work for the day. It is quite late to be having lunch, but that is just the way it is sometimes on a Monday. But yeah, honestly, having food prepped is a game changer when you've got a busy day, and also when you're trying to get back on track with your eating in general, because you've got it there and it's just so easy. I literally just took it out the Tupperware, seasoned it a little bit more, put it in the microwave while I got on with some other tidying up, and now I just need to eat it, which is the best part. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like this mid-late afternoon pocket of the day is always, if I'm gonna slip up nutrition-wise, this is where it happens. So having a snack that I actually enjoy and look forward to, and that hits the sweetness that my body is really wanting right now. I literally have an Easter egg sat in the kitchen, and all day my brain's been like, just have some of the Easter egg, have some of the Easter egg. But the fact that I can have this instead gives me some protein, it gives me some fibre, and it gives me some sweetness, means that I don't need to have the Easter egg and I'm still gonna be full and satisfied. So I find for me, having an afternoon snack that is sweet really helps tide me over to dinner. I am just working through some last work bits before I shut my laptop for the evening. It is about 5:30 at this point. So I am having quite a late snack because I did have a late lunch, and I usually will have a late dinner as well. So like I say, this is not necessarily optimal times to eat, it's just what works for me, my lifestyle, the way that my partner's schedule works as well. It means that we can actually have dinner together. So I've got Greek yogurt, I've got strawberries and granola and a little bit of honey. So yeah, some sweetness, some protein, some fibre, everything I need. And in all honesty, the smell of this is making my mouth water right now. So I'm gonna go and eat this, finish my work, and then I have one more meal left, which will be my dinner. And just like that, final meal of the day is here. We have got a stir fry. To be honest, nothing new around here food wise. I am honestly such a fan of convenience when it comes to food. So I've literally just made us a prawn stir fry. This is rice noodles, mixed veggies, and yeah, king prawns. Super easy, literally took me 15 minutes to make. It's chuck it all in the pan and have used some pad thai sauce as well, just so it tastes good. It is hilarious the difference in size or portions with mine compared to my boyfriend's. But yeah, overall it's been a good day of eating. I am feeling generally super satisfied. As I said, with having that sweet snack, it really helps with those cravings. So I was very much able to say, no, I don't need to have the Easter egg, and it feels good to be able to do that as well. But hopefully it's also been interesting for you guys to see a little bit of what I eat, especially when it comes to just keeping things simple, keeping things easy alongside a busy working day, and also making sure that I am straight back on track post-holiday, and some tips and tricks that I use every single time I travel to get myself back to norm as quick as possible. Plus, these are all things that I help lay the foundations for with my clients so that they can see incredible results without sacrificing their lifestyle in the process. So if you do want more information on my one-to-one coaching, the link for my applications will be down below this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.